Hello and welcome to the Mastin Kipp Podcast. I'm your host, Mastin Kipp, and I am the creator of Functional Life Coaching, where we discover the root cause emotional blocks that are holding you back from success. And I'm also the creator of Trauma Hacking, helping you turning your nervous system into your ally, and the best-selling author of the book Claim Your Power, and also a trauma survivor advocate. And this podcast is from my heart to yours. I'm going to share with you all kinds of different things, different coaching experiences that I've had with people, different parts of my life, maybe an excerpt from a seminar, different interviews with friends and thought leaders, all about how to get unstuck, how to hack your nervous system, how to turn your nervous system into your ally and really get the edge so that you can really live your dreams, live your purpose, and most importantly, pay it forward. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. One favor I have for you is this. If you love this podcast, remember to subscribe to it. And if you feel called, please feel free to leave a review, because reviews really matter, helps us spread the word, and helps other people really discover this podcast. So if this was valuable to you, please feel free to leave a review and subscribe to the podcast. And if there's anything in this episode or any episode that really strikes you as an aha moment, shoot us an email to hello@mastinkipp.com. Tell us which episode it was and about what time the breakthrough was in the episode, so that we can really know, because I'd love to hear from you what your aha moments are. I love hearing that, and my team loves hearing that too. So without any further ado, please enjoy this episode of the Mastin Kipp Podcast. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we shall go on. We'll go over to Hey.
Hey.
How's it going?
Hi, Mastin. Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right. So what is your outcome?
My outcome, I feel, is forgiveness, and it's self-forgiveness. And I'm frustrated because I'm doing all this work, but I still feel really stuck in letting go of pain that I feel I've caused to other people in my life.
Sure. So what would have to happen for you to forgive yourself?
That's where I seem to be stuck.
I can give you the answer.
Please do.
You have to give up your pride.
That's a big one. What if not ever even thought of that?
Well, people who don't forgive think that pride is more valuable than forgiveness. And it makes sense, because when we don't forgive, we think usually there's two reasons why people don't forgive. Usually they think, if I forgive someone, then I justify what they've done to me. Like, it's like I'm saying that's okay. Or the other fear is, not just am I justifying what the other person's done to me, but God will send me something worse and more pain will come. So I like the devil that I know versus the devil I don't know. And that's all about pride, because there's a level of pride that says, what is pride, right? Pride is not just necessarily just like pride in winning a gold medal for your country. That's a higher calling of pride. This is like, I have to be right or I will die.
See, for me, Mastin, yeah, it makes sense. For me, though, I feel like I find it easier to forgive others. Like, I'm able to do that. I'm able to forgive others, but it's myself that I'm stuck on.
Right. Well, then if you can't forgive yourself, you haven't forgiven others.
Okay. Wow. It's like that's super. Whoop, sorry.
The dog agrees, by the way.
That just really surprises me, because I really feel like I've done that work and I got to that place, but obviously
that's like saying I worked out for 2 weeks and I got some exercise in, and I haven't lost all the weight. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like there's this idea that like I did it. It's like, no, this is your work. It's something that you live with. It's like it's a trauma. A trauma is like a wound that you live with. And it gets better and better and better. And ultimately it becomes a teacher. Ultimately it's like a pearl. Like a pearl starts out as a wound to the oyster. Mm-hmm. And it becomes something beautiful over time. Right. So like This is a wound that can turn to like a pearl within you, but you have to be willing to give up the pride that says, I have to be right here. Which is, and what you want to be right about, like the pattern wants to be right about, is how shitty of a person you are. So if you're willing to give up the idea that you're a bad person and that you actually are a good person, then we can start to address the guilt and the shame is underlying that. And no amount of watching videos is going to help you do that if you won't admit to yourself you actually are a good person and you did the best you could from your perspective, and so did they. And ultimately what you're really resisting is the sadness associated with the guilt of what you think you did. Did we lose you?
No, you just hit it.
What is so fucked up that you did that's so bad?
Oh, there's a few things.
Nothing is unforgivable.
I believe that, but I just, with all the work that I've done, it just seems like I keep coming back to almost hurting myself by not moving forward. And I feel it's because like you said, maybe I'm not convinced that I'm a good person.
That's where guilt comes from. Guilt is I did something wrong.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. And then shame is because I did something wrong, I'm a bad person. And you look at like the emotional scale, shame is like the second to like the bottom. It's like a bottom feeding emotion. It really has no purpose other than to create such a juxtaposition of what you don't want that eventually becomes a catalyst for you to break through. That's really the only purpose of shame. Other than that, it doesn't really have a purpose. It's like a bacteria. Right? Like it doesn't have a purpose, really, other than to make you so uncomfortable that you move. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I feel like I'm...
So you actually like where you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there. And that is why you're there.
Yeah.
Which is normal, right?
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself the question, am I willing to admit that I could be a good person? And if that's the case, if I can't forgive myself, would I at least be willing to speak in the direction of forgiveness towards myself? I'd be willing. Because willingness, way more powerful.
And I've, in my mirror work, I've done that. I do that. That's where I end up. And I'm telling myself that, I'm a good person. I have a good heart. My intentions are good.
Believe you're a good person and tell yourself you're a good person. You go bullshit. I'm not talking about what you say to yourself to soothe yourself temporarily. I'm talking about on a belief level. Be willing to believe that you could be a good person at a deeper level than what you say to yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because like mirror work without changing the belief is like, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. And the pattern goes, bullshit, no, you fucking don't.
And that's where I'm stuck.
The real question is, why do I not believe that I love myself? And the answer is because I think I'm a bad person, which is probably some version of childhood criticism coming back to frame your lens for your life.
Yeah, that's totally true.
So do you want to be victimized by your criticism or do you want to grow from it?
I want to grow.
Cool. So if you want to grow and you really want to grow,
right?
Is that true?
Yes, it is true. I want to grow.
Can you be willing to admit that you could be a good person?
Yes.
And could you be willing then to also feel the sadness associated with the guilt of thinking, misthinking that you're a bad person? Because that's the work. You have to have an emotional experience. You can't think yourself out of it.
I feel like I've been having a lot of emotional experiences around it. So
that's not my question though. Would you be willing to feel the sadness associated with the guilt of misbelieving that you're a bad person?
yes.
Get ready, girl.
Oh boy.
What's the worst that will happen? What's the worst?
The worst that would happen. If I allow it, I don't know that there would be a worst.
I know that you don't know, but the pattern says if I feel my feelings, something will happen.
Yeah.
I'll die. Some version of that.
I'll finally live a big life.
Well, yes, that's what
I'll finally be.
That's the same part of you that says, I love myself. And the pattern's like, fuck you. No, you don't. I'm asking the pattern the question, which is, what's the worst that will happen if you feel your feelings? It's unconscious. It's irrational. Makes no goddamn sense.
A breakdown of emotion.
And I'm assuming, based on that patterning, that the pattern believes that if I'm emotional, I will be criticized.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So what if I can be emotional and safe?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. So now we know why you feel this way. Because you think it's unsafe to feel your emotions, which is kind of like saying, I don't really think it's safe to breathe, so I'm just going to hold my breath until I pass out. And I wonder why I pass out all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So where could you go for emotional sustenance and emotional nurturing to share some feelings and not be judged?
I have a few people. Unfortunately, not my family.
Few hundred people?
A few hundred people?
I think so.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry.
Oh, my God. The answer's right in front of you.
Yes, I know. They've been wonderful. I just find it hard to...
It's hard.
Open up.
It's hard. It's going to be hard. But you know what's harder? Not opening up.
Absolutely.
Right? So let's celebrate this emotional threshold that you've hit where you're sick and fucking tired.
Yeah.
And know that it's safe to share. And what I'd encourage you to do is hop onto the Facebook group and say, hey, here's my outcome. I'm in the process of forgiving myself. So to do that, I want to share some of the sadness and the shame, not so that we can make it bigger, but because it's like, I need to share this with you. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
And watch. You will absolutely be safe. And that is the process. So the emotional honesty is how you heal.
Yeah.
And all the work that we do in this program is designed to kind of squeeze you to get you to this place.
Yeah, I've felt the squeeze, Mastin. I've felt the squeeze.
Good. Awesome. So, can I get a fist bump?
Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome work, and I'm proud of you.
Oh,
and just know that you're in a safe place. And you know what? Last thing I'll say, you said it's not my family. I'm not even sure how many people in your family. Let's just say it's a large family of 12 people. They're like in a close circle, okay? You have hundreds who are here that want to support you. Go to where the love is.
I will.
All right?
I will. Thank you so much.
Proud of you. Awesome. You're welcome. Awesome.